In today's lesson, I'm going to teach you about prepositional phrases without the word or with the word out. So make sure that you jump down in the chat. I will be reading chat throughout today's lesson. As always, I will also have quiz questions throughout today's lesson. So let's make sure that you are paying attention so you can get today's quiz questions correct. I would like to say good morning and hello to everyone that is joining the live stream. Let's get ready to get into today's lesson. So a prepositional phrase, first of all, is a group of words consisting of a preposition, an object, and words that modify the particular object in the sentence. So let me give you an example. An example of a prepositional phrase would be, the bug is behind his ear. The bug is behind his ear. So behind would be the preposition. His is the modifier. Ear is the object of the preposition. I don't want to get too heavy into it. I primarily want to teach you how to use these phrases with the word out. But this is a simple explanation of what a prepositional phrase is. So let's get to a handful of examples, and I will give you example sentences to go along. The first example of a prepositional phrase with the word out is out of hand. Out of hand. So you may say to someone, you know what? I don't want to talk anymore. This discussion is getting out of hand. Or you may be riding down the highway and you see someone arguing and you say, let's get out of here before this fight gets out of hand. So when something is out of hand, it's almost as if a person or a situation begins to lose control. That's what it means to be out of hand. Out of ideas is a second example of a prepositional phrase using the word out. So when you use this in a sentence, you may say, I don't know. I'm simply out of ideas. So someone may ask you a question like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And you just may say, it's on you. You make the decision. I'm out of ideas. Or if you're at the job and someone on your job asks you, how do you think we can complete this project best? And you just may say, you know what? I'm out of ideas. I have no idea. I'm going to leave that to you. Another example of a prepositional phrase is out of stock. So when you go to the store, you may look for a particular item and they may tell you at this time, we're sorry, but it is out of stock. Or you may ask a question, do you have any more shampoo? It looks like you're out of stock. Or in the wintertime, you may learn that certain fruits will be out of stock because of the season that you're in. Out of stock. Okay, another prepositional phrase using the word out is out of the ordinary. And so you may simply say, why are you so quiet today? That's really out of the ordinary. Or you may say, you know what? I was watching Jay's learning school today and he had a different thumbnail. That's out of the ordinary. Okay. So when something is out of the ordinary, it's normally not consistent with what you are used to seeing or understanding. It's unusual. It's out of the ordinary. Now, another prepositional phrase using the word out is out of reach. Can you get that for me? It's out of my reach. You know, I'm a tall man, and usually when I go to the store, it's so funny. Sometimes I see people trying to reach things and they're short and they're on their tippy toes and they can't reach it. And so I get it for them. And we laugh because they were stretching, trying to get something that was out of reach. Okay. You can't grasp it. You can't get it because it's out of reach. All right, let's look at another example of a prepositional phrase using the word out after we take this quiz question. So the first quiz question for today is a fill in the blank. Let's see if you can get this correct. I am going home before this argument gets out of blank. I am going home before this argument gets out of blank. So if you were paying attention in the first section, how would you answer this particular question? Let's see if you can get this correct and place your answers down in the comments section. Let's move on to our second section, out of order. So you may be out somewhere and you have to go to the bathroom, but then when you go in the bathroom, you will see that the toilet is out of order. Or have you ever gone to a fast food restaurant and the intercom was out of order? You had to drive up to the window to place your order because it was out of order. Okay. Sometimes if you have an old cell phone, it may not work properly, and you will not only say it's broken, but you will say, man, it's time to upgrade. This phone is out of order. So that's a very common prepositional phrase using the word out. Another one that I like to use because I am a neat freak, I say out of place a lot. And so you may come into a room and you see that everything is in chaos, and you would ask, can you help me find my pen because it is out of place? It is so aggravating to me when you let someone use something or you leave something in a certain place and then someone comes behind you and uses it. And then when you're ready to go use it, you find that it is out of place. It's not where you left it. Okay, so you have to bring order. And so this is a prepositional phrase that I use seemingly every other day, out of place. All right, our eighth prepositional phrase using the word out is out of question. So when someone asks you a question and you want to tell them no, another way to say no instead of saying no is just saying, that's out of the question. I'm not doing that. Will you take me to the store? I need to go shopping. No, that's out of the question. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Can I give you a kiss? That's out of the question. No, that's out of the question. That's not going to happen. Okay. So you can use this prepositional phrase in a number of ways. Okay. Out of the question. All right. Our ninth prepositional phrase is out of mind. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? So when you're saying, are you out of your mind? You're basically insulting someone, or you're saying to someone, you're not really thinking. You're out of your mind. Why are you talking in your sleep? You might say. Are you out of your mind? Are you drunk? Are you high? Are you out of your mind? And so you could describe someone, man, my cousin went to the party and they were dancing and sweating like they were out of their mind. So This is one that you can use to describe someone that does something that they normally don't do, or you're questioning someone's soundness of mind, out of mind. Now, you can use it in another way by saying, you know what? My ex-girlfriend, she's out of my mind. I'm not thinking about her anymore. Okay? Out of mind. All right, out of breath. Now, this is another one that I use pretty often, especially when I find myself out of shape. And so I may say, I was in the yard for 1 hour. I am so tired and I am out of breath. Or you may have to walk a long distance or walk up a number of stairs, and you may say, whew, I am out of breath. Okay, I am tired. I am exhausted. I am out of shape. All right, let's look at our next pop quiz question for section 2 of today's lesson. How would you complete this? This room is such a mess. Everything is out of blank. Now, this answer could actually be 2 different prepositional phrases. This room is such a mess. Everything is out of blank. Let's see how you would answer that by leaving your answer down in the comments section. Okay, let's head into our last section for this morning's live stream. We did out of breath already. Out of spite, okay? Out of spite. Now, when you do something out of spite, you're basically being vindictive, or you're doing something to someone because they did wrong to you, okay? So you did it to me out of spite. I'm going to do it to you. You cheated on me. I'm going to cheat on you out of spite. Okay. So you might say, you know what? I'm not taking you on a date this weekend out of spite because how you talked to me last night. Okay. So you're being mean to somebody because they were mean to you. All right. You didn't forgive them. Out of print. So you might say, this book is out of print. It's so old, they're not producing it anymore. Okay, it's out of print. Or you may have a particular CD or record that you once owned and you wanted to purchase it again because the one you have was damaged. And you may find out that it is out of print. Okay, out of print. No longer being distributed or manufactured. Out of context. Now, this is the 3rd prepositional phrase that I use pretty often. Okay. Don't take my words, you might say, out of context. Okay. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Or you may say to someone, look, it's a misunderstanding. You took my words out of context. Okay. So you're saying you did not understand me, or you were confused by what I said. You took everything out of context. I want to welcome everyone that's just joining today's class. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm almost finished today's lesson, but we are talking about prepositional phrases using the word out. So let's go to our next one, which is actually our last one for today. Out of curiosity. Some people come to the stream out of curiosity. They're wondering what's going on. What is he talking about? Okay. I looked under the hood out of curiosity to see why the car was making noise. Or I knew they were hiding my gifts. So out of curiosity, I looked in every room of the house. So these are 15 different prepositional phrases that you can use with the word out. Let's look at our last pop quiz question for today. How would you complete this? After moving the heavy furniture to a different room, I am out of blank. After moving the furniture to a different room, I am out of blank. So I talked about this in this section. How would you answer this? Make sure you leave your answer down in the comments section. Now, before we conclude today's lesson, I want to look at a recent subscriber comment. I really enjoy interacting with my subscribers, and I am so grateful for the conversations and comments that I get throughout the week. So this one was from Sierra or Sarita, and she says, simply excellent class, sir. And I just said thumbs up and thank you. Now, some comments I get are very long and I can't put them on the stream, but I do read them and respond, and I'm so grateful for all of the comments that I get. Well, that's going to conclude this morning's lesson. And remember, it's important to go back and watch this lesson several times, at least 2 times, one with the volume on and one off, so you can learn and practice these prepositional phrases. My name is Jay, and I have a number of videos on YouTube to help you understand and speak English better. All you need to do is hit the subscribe button. And if you learned something today, please hit that like button, as that will really help the channel. I hope you join me on my next video and my next lesson. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you then. Have a great weekend.